And it's Ken Kraetzer for kgkraetzermedia. We have a special talk today on a key project very close to my heart, pedestrian safety and making drivers more alert to look for pedestrians when they're driving and being alert. And so glad to discuss this with Larry Woodard and visit his office. Larry is the CEO of Graham Stanley Advertising here in White Plains. Larry, always good to see you.
Hey, always great to see you, Ken.
And also joining us, we have Anthony Epps, who is with Benchmark Title. And Anthony, good to see you today.
Great to see you as well, Ken. Thank you for having us.
Well, pleasure. And Larry, you initiated this pedestrian safety initiative that we'll remember my late wife, Kerri, who was lost to us from a pedestrian car accident in October. And Larry, you see this as a key a number of events that are happening, a key problem across the country of the number of pedestrian accidents and sadly fatalities.
Absolutely. It was astounding to me, after your loss, Ken, when I started reading, started looking at what was available and saw that it wasn't just our problem, but it is indeed a national problem. And there has been a lot of attention placed on the national or governmental level, but a lot of it has had a difficult time coming down to municipalities. And that's what we're trying to get to happen here.
And Anthony, I know you've been in some local public governmental meetings, and our elected officials are very aware of this problem, a growing number of pedestrian accidents in the communities here in Westchester. What do you see happening, cause, and some of the remedies?
Well, Ken, this is a problem that has been taking place for a very long time. And over the last 15 years, the numbers have gone up significantly in terms of the number of fatalities and injuries that have been taking place. When it comes to the advent of the cell phone and driving while distracted and everything else. And you have a lot of the politicians have been really mortified at the number of deaths, and they're really looking to figure out ways in which to solve the problem. And part of the solving of the problem is gathering all the stakeholders together and coming up with possible solutions. And those solutions really is what it's all about. And so we're happy that we have taken this opportunity to come together after the sad passing of your wife, Kerri, to really make a difference. And this is something that we are all just about getting done. We need to get this done.
Absolutely. And Larry, you volunteered and stepped forward on this initiative. What are the key steps that you see can make a difference to reduce pedestrian accidents?
It has to be something that is what they call private-public partnerships. There are key stakeholders in terms of business owners, people who are actually in the business, like running clubs where people run, or civic organizations that are about the betterment of community. Government officials who have funding, maybe from national, regional, or local government, and then certainly interested parties. And we happen to live in a marketplace that's very expensive to get messages out, because of New York City. So it really takes a lot of coming together and a lot of using the people's individual databases to be able to get the message out. But I think that what it mostly needs is a catalyst. And so we have a catalyst here, and we're going to try to use that catalyst to move it forward.
Absolutely. And Anthony, certainly remedies are pedestrian, just awareness. We call it situational awareness, being aware of what's going on around you, 360 degrees, certainly looking left and right, and also wearing reflective vests. If you're out in pre-dawn, as my wife was, or in the evenings, and certainly during the wintertime, it's shorter days. What are some of the other things that pedestrians and drivers can do to reduce the number of accidents?
Well, being a runner, and I would say a former runner, there are a lot of things that we as the public can do when we're out there, whether walking, running, being out with our children, cycling, or whatever the case might be. The first thing is to really, when you're wearing headphones, to put the volume down low. And so by turning the volume down low, it allows you to hear your music, hear your podcast or whatever, but also be aware as to what's happening around you. We have to be very vigilant and very much aware of that. But also, too, carrying ID with you is really important, because if something does happen to you, you want people to be able to identify you quickly, and you want to also carry your insurance card with you so that you can get care immediately, because unfortunately what happens a lot of times is that a person is hit, they're brought to the hospital, they don't know whether you have insurance or not, so the kind of care that you might get might be different if they think that you're an indigent person, or if you're a person who have means and have health insurance, then they'll treat you a lot differently, and the level of care is very important. So that's one of the things that you can definitely do. But I would say also wear bright colors, wear a vest, reflective vest. Let people know where you're going. If you're going out to run, if you're going out to walk, let a buddy know where you're going and what time you're leaving.
Always run with someone. In the military, they'll have a term battle buddy. And that means have a running buddy. Go out with someone when you go on a jog.
Absolutely. And that's definitely another thing to do. And I was one of those people who I always did things alone, because a lot of my friends didn't run. So you have to find someone to do it with you, but you also want to make sure that when you go out, you just have to be aware. And if you're a driver, you have to put the cell phones down. You cannot text while you're driving. You can't really eat while you're driving. You have to basically be vigilant and be aware of what's happening around you. And when you're making a turn, whether it's a right turn or a left turn, please be aware as to the speed you're going. Take wider turns and not make sharp turns, but take wider turns. And that way it gives you a chance to avoid someone who might be stepping off the sidewalk that you may not be aware of, or a child running in the street. Again, these are just little things that you can do to just make sure that you're being more vigilant and more aware of your fellow citizens.
Absolutely. Also, a recent New York Times article pointed out the number of homeless people that are injured or killed in pedestrian accidents. And Larry Woodard, so good to be at your office, and thank you for starting this initiative on pedestrian safety to avoid the number of people that are being lost due to car accidents, pedestrian accidents, and to remember my late wife, Kerri, who was lost in October due to being hit by a car when she was out running. Larry, what you get the last word today?
My last word is just, things like this that Ken is doing, just bring more awareness. I mean, because thinking about it is part of it, and to understand that we have to be vigilant, but also to just be aware that if you do live in the Westchester area, that we're coming after you, and we'll probably have an ask, and it'll probably be pretty soon. So stay tuned.
Well, Larry Woodard and Anthony Epps, thank you so much. This is day one, our first meeting on this project. We hope we can take it quite far to help eliminate the number of pedestrians that are hit by cars. But it really takes everyone to become more aware of the need to be alert when you're out on the roads, either driving or if you're walking or jogging. So we'll have much more. But thank you to Larry and to Anthony. And this is Ken Kraetzer for CamVets Media, and also my business page, CBSI Talking Business. Thank you. Have a good day.